Councillors, can I have your attention, please? I welcome you all to this meeting of the Town Planning Committee and declare this meeting open. We will commence the meeting with the following reflection. I'm just realising I can hear my voice. Feels like it's being picked up by a microphone, but I'm actually, there you go. Making sure the green button's on. Thank you. So we'll commence this meeting with the opening prayer. We will commence this meeting with the following reflection. I would ask those gathered to join us now for a few moments of silence as we reflect on our roles in this chamber. Please use this opportunity for reflection, prayer or thought to focus on our shared intention to work respectfully together for the well-being of our whole community. Thank you. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land of Cardinia Shire, the Bunurong and the Wurundjeri people, and pay my respects to their elders, both past and present. Apologies. We have received an apology tonight from Councillor Owen, and I note there is no other apologies. The items withdrawn for discussion this evening are item 5.1, development of the land for a habitable outbuilding and development of the land for a non-habitable outbuilding, Carport at 21 Ford Road in Emerald. This is withdrawn by Councillor Davies and Councillor Davies.
Thank you, Mayor. I confirm I wish to withdraw this item for the purposes of discussion and that I support the Council Officer recommendations.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Cameron. Councillor Davies, I'll go back to you to speak to this item. Thank you, Mayor.
The permit has been submitted for development of the land for a habitable outbuilding and a non-habitable outbuilding, a carport, and this is at lot PC 362011 21 Ford Road in Emerald. The application has been advertised publicly and 6 objections have been received. I confirm that I seek council support tonight in supporting the council officer recommendations that the applications refused, and this is for the following reasons. The application doesn't comply with relevant state and local planning policies in relation to the protection and preservation of agricultural land. The permit also does not comply with environmental objectives of the significant landscape overlay schedule 1, which applies to the land. The proposed habitable outbuilding will increase the built form that's visually exposed to the Puffing Billy tourist railway, and the proposed habitable outbuilding also has a significant footprint, 343 square metres, so its presence on the site will be quite prevalent and impact the amenity of the corridor. Furthermore, the application is not compliant with the relevant considerations of Clause 65 decision guidelines, which includes the purpose of the zones and overlays in the orderly planning of the area. Despite residential use of the land being established, as discussed above, the proposed outbuilding would result in further permanent loss of agricultural land, which is my final concern also. So for your consideration, Council, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. I'll now go to the seconder, Councillor Cameron, if she would like to speak to this item. Thank you, Councillor Cameron. Would any other councillors like to speak to this item? I might just add for myself that I also will support Councillor Davies in supporting the officer's recommendation. Within the report, there is a number of concerns listed of why they do not support this recommendation, and so I'm happy to support Councillor Davies in this motion to refuse this planning permit. I'll now go back to Councillor Davies to summarise. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cameron, for your secondary support, and to Mayor Springfield for your comments. As a ward councillor, there are certainly comments and insights that I take into consideration when I consider the review of applications. I do confirm that tonight Council is seeking to support and vote in accordance with the Council Officer recommendations where the application is refused. So, in conclusion, councillors, I seek your support in refusing the application. Thank you.
Councillors, we'll now put this to a vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. I declare that carried. Moving along to item 5.2, use and development of the land for a telecommunications facility and associated works at 1015 Manks Rd, Dalmore. Withdrawn by Councillor Davies.
Thank you, Mayor. I confirm I'd like to withdraw this item for discussion purposes, and I will be seeking to support the officer's recommendations. Thank you.
Councillors, can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Moore. Councillor Davies, I'll go to you to speak to this item first.
Thank you, Mayor Springfield, and thank you, Councillor Moore, for seconding this motion. So, item 5.2, T210617PA is the use and development of the land for a telecommunications facility, and this is at number 1015 Manks Rd in Dalmore. The telecommunications facility is being developed to provide improved mobile and data service coverage for Dalmore and the surrounding area. The applicant suggests that there is a need for this facility given that the nearest existing NBN capable telecommunications facility is over 3.5 kilometres away, and the existing mobile phone base stations are even more distance away, 3.8 kilometres. There are other facilities in the area, and these are in Cooyerrup. So geographically, we all know there is a long distance between Dalmore and Cooyerrup. Tonight, I believe that we should support the Council Officer's recommendation and issue a notice of decision to grant the permit for the use and development of the land for this reason. The planning permit has been advertised. 6 objections were received and considered by the Council. The permit has a number of conditions to reduce the amenity impact on the area, to protect the vegetation and the trees, and as a requirement of the permit, amended plans will need to be submitted to Council that address these conditions prior to the start of the development. So it's for this reason, Mayor Springfield and Council, I seek your vote tonight, supporting the Officer's recommendations that Council grants the permit. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. I'll now go to the seconder, Councillor Moore, to speak to this item.
Thank you, Mayor. I haven't got much to add. I see that Councillor Davies has looked after most of this item. I want to thank the 6 objectors who have put their submissions into this item. I recognise that this land is agricultural, very flat. And I know that one of the major problems will be is the installation of this tower. You'll be able to see it for a long way off. But it is required in this area. And I think by looking at the report, the officers have done due diligence in looking through this report and approving of this application. And I do note there are a lot of conditions that go with this tower. And so I understand that the applicant has got to go through a pretty intensive routine to get this particular construction put in place. But that's why I seconded this item for discussion. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Are there any other councillors that would like to speak to this item? I will go back to Councillor Davies to summarise then. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Springfield, and thank you to Councillor Moore for seconding the motion. For a long time, Councillor Moore was the ward councillor for this area. It changed in the most recent restructuring. So, and I do reiterate support for his comments that residents do have concerns. I mean, these towers don't look nice, but they are necessary. So, I would like to just confirm that tonight, Council, I'm seeking your vote, supporting the Officer's recommendations that Council issues a permit for the use and the development of the land for the telecommunications facility at number 1015 Manks Rd in Dalmore. Thank you, Mayor.
Councillors, I'll now put this to a vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare that carried. Thank you. That concludes discussion of the items withdrawn. May I have a mover, please, to adopt the officer's recommendation for the balance of the items remaining? I note Councillor Ryan and Councillor Kowalczyk as a seconder. Councillors, all those in favour, please raise your hand. I declare that carried. Thank you, councillors. That concludes tonight's meeting, and I thank you all for your interest in attending tonight and declare this meeting closed. Thank you.